This is Sunnyside on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Thank you so much for staying here. It's 95.1 Nigeria Info, and like I said, we'll be unbundling the NNPC today. There's a whole lot to get or to clear there with regards to the NNPCL right now as it is. Lots and lots of questions, lots of misconception, and many Nigerians are holding fast to, general opinions, general figures put out there. Without necessarily getting to know the facts. But that's what we had to do here. After all, that's our work, right? I'm joined this afternoon by Mr. Kingsley Jeremiah. He's an energy editor of the DN. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Jeremiah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining me. And it's good to have you here. So, I went through the article that was made. Sources explain the company's option to discourage blatant and misleading information that has been prevalent in the air before. Now, let me start by asking, why is it now we are beginning to have some sort of clarification of the NNPC? Because the misconception has been there for a very long time.
So if you drive your narrative,
yes,
as an organization, what typically happen is people making meaning of the information available to them.
Yeah.
Over the years, like typical civil service in Nigeria, information is something critical. So, and I think at some point, NNPC was operating as a corporation, and before the passage of the Loan Industry Act in 2021, and so after that, NNPC transitioned into a limited liability company. So by law, this information should be provided. And so it's one thing to put information, it's one thing for the law to allow this should be provided. It's another for people within the NNPC to be committed to providing this information. So I think the people within NNPC over the years are not committed to providing this information. And now the limited liability company, there is a need for them to possibly speak out and tell Nigerians the truth, because it's very important.
Indeed, it's very, very important. And like you said, the need for it, because over the years, seen a sort of leadership at any level that becomes incoming. And when that happens, then lies can prevail on. But glad that we have an opportunity to do that right now. So let me ask you, we have new fuel pump prices. NNPC has made mention of the fact market forces that have driven these prices to where they are, 617. But on the contrary, when you look at it, NNPC is the sole importer of oil into the country, even though recently we have news of other companies in vessels and the competition or the market forces will begin at play. Talk to me about the soaring prices, over the roof prices, and what do you have to say with regard to that?
Yes, so the thing is, we all canvass for the regulation of the downstream sector. I have written a lot around regulating the downstream sector, and the Petroleum Industry Act also spelled out the role of energy under the regulation. So what we're seeing currently around pump price of fuel is expected by some of us. So when you deregulate the market, the price will keep going up and down, and the price is the benchmark on certain criteria. For instance, the price of crude at the international market. That is important because local refineries are not working yet. Another thing is foreign exchange, and so you buy products with the dollar, and bring them into the country. Now, so wherever this is at the international level, we play a role locally.
Yes,
and a
definitely.
component that is very important is freight. So you have to ship this product back into the country and calculate that. But what we've been saying, or what we've seen over the years, when President Buhari came into power, at some point, the private players and NNPC were all importing products into the country. But President Buhari came. He felt things shouldn't be that way, because the things that happen under the government, we see a lot of companies that are giving allocation to import products, and they have to hold government neck when anything goes. So I think in his own wisdom, he preferred that NNPC become a importer of PMS. And so it was at that point that NNPC came a so importer. So over what NNPC was doing is to import this product because it's a national company and it's a corporation. Indeed, the NNPC was called the last resort. So anything not to happen to guarantee energy supply, they have to support and deduct this money. And then it was under recovery. Now, so I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It was called the recovery, and then means automatically that they don't need to give the private players any money to import this product into the country. As the president then working it better to manage allowing NNPC to primarily put the product into the country. And so that is what we had until the new president came and said, we have to deregulate the market, subsidies gone, and everybody have to import. He has been a big player over the years. So what the NNPC would really do is, at some point, it was, for about 8 years, it was the only selling products to other retailers.
Yeah.
So what we did was to say, since the market is directed, we are setting a price. And in a market where you see a big player, as the player is setting its market, every other person just literally follow. So, and I also remember that the first time the deregulation happened, the FS price that was used to import products was benchmark at $6.50. So $1, and the new president came and floated the naira, the markets, and dollar to a certain extent. So
it's over 800 and something.
That's probably one of the things responsible for increase in price.
We get it now. Let's talk about some of the damning allegations that have been hanging over the NNPC over him, and let's just try to clear the air. Recently, though, let's even start with this one. The NNPC said that government is suing them. That no hotel was paid subsidies since 2016. Can you help us make sense out of all of that? Okay, I said, government, the issue of government over NNPC. That was an issue that came up. And also that no marketer was paid subsidy since 2016.
Yes. So
this have come up and we need to make sense.
Yes. So if you listen to what I just finished, when the my president came into power, he allowed only NNPC to import products. So if he was importing into the country, no other person was needing game products. So what the marketers were doing during the Goodluck Jonathan era was to import and collect subsidy from government, and then allowed for a lot of corruption. And when the new president, I think he was looking for, that was Buhari, he was looking for a better manage the situation. So by allowing only NNPC to import, if NNPC was only importer, particularly for premium motor spirit, then there is no need to give any subsidy to any marketer to bring it into the country. The product was made available in the country, so marketers just go to the depot, buy from NNPC and retail. So there was no need to pay back subsidy to those people. And so, but the government then didn't also have the financial backing to give this marketers. And the only thing they can rely on is to go to the national oil company and say, okay, we don't have money to give these marketers to import. Can you please always bring this product into the country that there can be availability of product country and there won't be scarcity. So as soon as this product is available, the marketers go to NNPC and pick up. So in that case, there's no subsidy paying back to marketers. But NNPC will have to record that because NNPC collects money on behalf of the government. What they typically would do is, we're collecting, let's say about 20 million naira a month. We spent about 10 million in petroleum products, bringing petroleum products into the country. So what will typically happen is for them to sit back and reconcile their accounts. No, at the point of imports, at the point they had to do all of what they have to do, even if the National Assembly sitting or the president wasn't giving directive, they are compelled as a result to just bring in this into the country. And then, because it's a government agency, they will always find a way to sit back and go, this is what we spent in this is what we spent on this, and they find a way to reconcile. So, and I think that also warranted the statement in NNPC saying the government was on. So becoming, at 2021, we started making budget provision for subsidy. But, that is just like an outlook of what you're going to earn in the course of the year. You might actually not get all of that money.
Exactly.
Even if you don't get that money, you still need to bring in this product. So because this is the company, your agency can easily go to. You can keep importing. When we're done with this, you come back and reconcile account. So it's at the point of reconciliation of account, I think. NPC was saying, you're owing us the amount of money.
All right. Okay, so, an article I have here, we talk about, the issue of NNPC not remitting to the government. It says that fresh facts emerged from the operations of the NNPC have provided new insight into the activities of the company, affirming that the firm actually made a whopping profit of 604.1 billion naira in 2021. Okay. Now, according to the report, that the new facts appear to conflict some views by notable individual institutions on the activities of the company in recent years. Do you want to shed more light on the profit made BC in 2021 and put places side by side with the actions of not remittance or non-remittance into the federal government account?
So, when PIA came into effect, let me start this way. See, every company across the world, in Nigeria, anywhere in the world, is set up to make profits.
Exactly.
NNPC is not in it. So, but we've had situations where, unlike the Saudi Aramco and other national oil companies across the world, the NNPC for a very long time has not been a profit-making entity. And they are behind that, and government is responsible. It is believed that whosoever is absent, us as Nigerian.
Okay, let me just pause very quickly. We'll take this commercial, then you continue from your stuff.
Okay.
All right, stay with us. It's 95.1 Nigeria Info. We'll take a commercial and come back on our discussion.
My name is Elder Emma O. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation, and so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The key environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for our people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives, and our families. That's why I'm part of this group, so that I'll be part of those who are on the journey to rebuild Nigeria.
In case you are wondering, well, my name is Fortune, I'm the mayor of the FC, and I am excited about this initiative. I believe it's going to be a big one. This is the first of many who are coming to your area very soon. So we expect you to come out. We expect you to put your hands on the plow.
All right, I'm joined this afternoon by King Jeremiah, energy editor of The Guardian, and we're looking at the issue of profit making of the AC in 2021. There was also, the record of loss made and what the NNPC also remitted into the government coffers. But then before we get to that, you were on a trajectory in terms of the explanation. Yeah.
So I was discussing the issue of profit making for every organization.
Yes.
It is very critical for every organization set up to make profits. Over the years, I've seen this NNPC, and there are reasons behind that. I was saying that governments, in quotes, own NNPC on behalf of the Nigerian people. And so wherever the governments in place at particular time allow, it's likely what will happen around NNPC. So in 2021, we see them declaring profit. That's for the very first time in a very long time.
Yeah, they said in 44 years.
Yes. And I think that's commendable. Also, the petroleum industry came to change that and make something.
So are you trying to say that had been operating at a loss all these years?
Exactly.
That's why there wasn't any remittance into
They've been operating as a loss-making entity. You see, at some point, PC logo is touching your life in different ways. Now, they were primarily concerned around services that we guarantee energy security, even if that will affect their profits. We've seen situations where NNPC in the past have been made to pay for things they shouldn't ordinarily pay for. Politically motivated activity.
So who's to blame for that? I mean, because how does a company exist and then, there is a whole lot of overhead and then, you're operating at a loss?
Political interference is something serious in Nigeria. So you can only operate to the extent to which political interference and the law setting you up allow you to operate. So if the law at a particular time asks you to prioritize certain activity, if you're making a loss, you have to do it. That's how NNPC was operating. But all of that has to change since we have the petroleum industry. So at NNPC also under camera. So it means that they have to run and become a commercial entity to compete with the likes of Shell, like the likes of the major oil company, independent oil company. They have to make profits. We have a lot of national companies across the world that are making profits, so that should not be anything different. And I think going forward, it shouldn't be anything different that NNPCs make profits, because they are business to make profit and they should profit.
Yeah, so I mean, with the PIA now making NPC a limited liability company, moving forward, I mean, it should be a profit or kind of organization, right? Because on the reports that we have here, that Emerging Facts puts it that the NNPCL posted first profit in 44 years in 2020, recording a profit of 287 billion from a loss of 803 billion posted earlier in 2018. And the company had similarly recorded a loss 1.7 billion in 2018 before it returned to profit making in recent years, arising from critical business decisions. So you see the flip-flopping, the different curves up and down that. But moving forward now as a company, as a limited liability company that's driven profit oriented, what Nigerians are expected to see from NNPC?
It shouldn't be anything different. And the clear indicators that profiting will continue. They're cutting costs in several aspects. One of the things they did in 2019 is to shut down the refinery totally. As some points, if the refinery produces a single barrel or not, they kept it running. Okay. They come month after month to make budgetary allocation to run facilities. So the current management in 2020 shut it down. The refinery was a major cost element. Anytime you see the monthly financial statement of NNPC, it usually paints the financial statement red. So as some people shut down, they have trying to revive it, and from the best of my knowledge, and handed over to a private third party to manage and operate. And so with that, expect that this private organization will be able to at least run it efficiently, make money out of it. Then I also understand that a number of their entities, particularly within the shipping as well as the integrated data and some other organization has been. So this enabled them to cut overhead and also cut costs in certain way and become much more efficient. So they continue in this manner. Also changing the culture from or transitioning totally from a corporation into a limited liability, which they are already doing. If they sustain this kind of momentum, I think something good should begin to happen. And I also think what is important is the good interference. So whoever the president is should allow the company to run independently. So if the president or the government is allowing it to run independently, we shouldn't accept any excuse from NNPC regarding profit making.
Now, one of the questions I've often heard people ask is the fact that, okay, NNPC has been, how do you call it now, bundled, so to speak, or has been a limited liability company. Now, still maintaining that same number of staff, overhead costs, salaries, and the likes of them. In this article is described as, befuddle counting, waste, losses, down refineries and non-remittances and all allegations that have been hanging. Now, the question is, how do we intend to run an effective limited liability company with the large number of people we have with moribund refineries? We get to the amount, sunk into the refineries, but how realistic is it to continue in the normal or in the usual way with refineries without having some sort of rearrangement to suit the status quo? Do you think it's workable?
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think you compulsorily need to reduce the number of your staff to become efficient.
Okay.
If the what you have something substantial doing, and they're bringing down the table to help the team grow, I think you should keep them, or possibly get more hand, then become much more productive. The challenge we've had over time, particularly through service, salaries, rewards, and people get is much more of an entitlement. So people sometimes don't even to work, they still get paid. And you will see a lot of files lying up that are not attended to funds.
Yeah.
Okay. It is not, there are no activity or there are no job to get done. Not efficient. People are not, there's no sanction. There's no system that people sit tight. But in a commercial entity, that totally changed, and I think that culture is already changing at the NPC. I was just giving you an instance where 6 entities were into 2.
Yeah.
So what will just happen is those 6 entities will need an MD to run each of those entities. That you just need only 2 MDs to run those entities. So if it's we find a way to fix those other people to the system in a manner that will become more productive.
Yeah.
And I think what was important, which they were not focusing on before, is the push away from the motto for NNPC now is energy today, energy tomorrow. Now, it gives you a picture of someone who is looking towards the future. There are a lot of energy to solve in our country. Nigeria is facing energy poverty from electricity to different. Yeah. So if we can use our human resources where, no matter the number is, and the organization can generate the income to pay them and still make profit, I think you don't just ask them downside. You understand? Instead of asking them to create other businesses that become more efficient and bring more profit to the table.
Okay, so still talking about official statements. This reports that NNPC has posted all its financial statements from 2015-2022, noting that certain claims could be verified. How do people have access to this? Because I think, like we were saying earlier, when there is no communication, people to believe lies, and lies will thrive. So how do people get access to some of these reports in order to actually, like you said, to verify the claims of NNPC operating the laws for a while, and then the moments or the times that they had to post profit and all of that? You
see, if you're doing something right, you should come out and speak about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I know they put some of those statements on their website.
Okay.
Now, it is not every Nigerian that will likely go to that website, and it is not every Nigerian that have time to break down this statement. Most likely, they don't have time. So I think NNPC need to tell its story. Okay, so if you're doing well in the aspect you're doing well, come out to tell us about what you're doing well. Okay, if you're not doing well, come to tell us this is an area we are improving on. So, but if you're running a company, a national company, and you're not providing information to the people, you just leave them to assume. And if you attempt to assume, people reach conclusion on a different basis they want to reach some conclusion on. So I think the NXA need to come out, both to the media and the general public. They need to break down information. They need to sustain the campaign that actually tell us what is going on in NNPC. A lot of us believe the NNPC is dark. They need to open up and let us see. They need to become more transparent. So if you provide this information, the masses will keep assuming that there's a lot of corruption on there. If you're not corrupt, come out and tell us that you're not corrupt. If you have done something what's why, come out and tell us something what's why. I think those things are important. A challenge to pick up.
Okay, so let's talk about the allegations, some of the other allegations that President Muhammadu Buhari's administration wasted $19 billion to rehabilitate 4 state-owned refineries without result, and that same amount was said to have been used by Dangote and he invested in the 650,000 capacity or barrels per day refinery that he has built and is yet at operation. So he said the totality of the spending, inclusive of salaries and wages of workers, can be compared to what it will cost to set up Dangote's refinery, according to a source in NNPC. Another source shed light on a statement that Goodluck Jonathan administration has said it would borrow $1 billion for turnaround maintenance, but that under Buhari, NNPCL also borrowed an additional 1.5, making that over 3.1 or thereabout billion US dollars. So it's explained, or the source explained, that we're wrong, saying that the company presented the federal government in its efforts to rehabilitate the refineries through an engineering, procurement, and construction contract with its partner spent only its approved counterpart. Now, let me come down to the base here. This source is that for the records, the court approved by the federal government rehabilitation of the nation three refineries, 1.8 billion US dollars, 740 million US dollars, then 548 million for Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Warri refineries, respectively. These are lots of monies. And up until now, we're still talking about, yes, we've not seen the federal government do. What can you say about the ongoing in terms of rehabilitating or total maintenance, as is called, the alleged wastage in terms of monies borrowed by administration, the actual thing, and let's just have some clarity in terms of it.
Yes, so the figures you've quoted, particularly the $1.5 billion for rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery. The rehabilitation of the three refineries should cost about around $3 billion. When you put up the 745, 48, 1.5, roughly around 3.2 thereabout. Now, so those are the latest go I know as an energy component on the rehabilitation effort going on currently, and it also boils down to some of the things I have been saying. You see, if you don't provide information as you execute award your contracts, if we don't make the people understand the basic things what happen under each of these government, they will go hand with what they know. So, and government in Nigeria has done well providing information. Now, we need to, our government, we need to keep asking God to provide detailed information on wherever they do. We need to be able to monitor as individual progress of tracks. That's that, because this money is borrowed on of
Nigerians.
But
Mr. Jeremiah, what I want to hear from you is, I know that you're interfering and reporting in that sector. Is there sort of authenticity to this put across? Is there any work that is actually in progress? Because we're told the name of the contractors who are on the job as it is. As EPC contractors are the Technimont company, which is from France, and also you have the one that is known as from South Korea, that is handling Kaduna and Warri refineries.
Yes, this figure you have quoted, like I say, as an energy journalist,
yes,
this is the truth.
The truth.
Yes, this I know. But in the past, you talk about and for some of these figures, it's in the public space. Okay, you've heard about this time. How much Port Harcourt refinery was awarded? I was when Port Harcourt refinery was awarded.
Is there is there a current work gone there?
It's been a while I've been there, but I've been LMA. Who confirmed to me the level of work going on there. Do they have to be fought it? Yes, I think they have to be fought it. Yes, for Port Harcourt refinery, which is around LMA, yes, that's categorically speak about. So, and I think being fast about in the refinery on board important, very important, because we are facing the deregulation issue, and you're able to refine locally. You would have taken the freight cost that you need to import these products from across the world and provide job to Nigerians. Yes, so I think a lot of work is going on there, and also for the yes, I think the chief executive of NNPC said then that the Port Harcourt refinery was awarded at rate, and also we are aware of the contractor had the job. Same thing, Kaduna and Port Harcourt. Warri refinery. So regarding the figure, I think the 3.2 trillion is the correct figure of is currently going on around the refinery. I mean, the correct figure around how much the contract was awarded. So I don't know about any of this. So, in Nigeria, wrong information, and a lot of the time, those informations are created in a manner that I've been sent things by professors, and I'm like, you can just think around this and verify. There are things people send to you, but we need to keep providing information as an organization.
Exactly.
We need to keep editing people.
That's what we're trying
to let them know. So as soon as there's a loophole in the provision of information, people just go to town and spread fake news. As you're aware, fake news, something really strong that we all need to fight.
In fact, the report says that President Goodluck Jonathan did not borrow any money for turnaround maintenance. And under Buhari, it was only about $1 billion, which was borrowed. That rehabilitation is ongoing. Okay, just before we begin to take the calls, let's talk about, this allegation by a committee on the House of Representatives, which the NNPC actually dismissed, that the company failed to transfer 2 trillion naira to the Federation account after the PIA came into effect in 2021. Buhari unveiled a company with 64 billion US dollars, which is an equivalent of 20 trillion naira. When dollar was 450 to a naira, 450 naira to a dollar, but that over 58.8 of that 64 billion was transferred to the federal government. It disclosed that the book value of asset transferred to PCL as of July 1 in 2022 amounted to that 8.8 billion worth of assets dash. So, do you have anything to say to us about this? Anything we need to know with regards to the finding of the committee and the debunking of NNPC of those allegations? They said you collected 64, but then you remitted 58.8.
You see, issues of National Assembly and government agency has been in for a very long time. And over time, the National Assembly play an oversight role. So when they don't have clarification over certain issue, it is not for them to call that agency and make some clarification. So I think the National Assembly, when they notice something is wrong, they're likely going to make noise about it. But I have a bit of challenge around issues that the National Assembly bring up a lot of time. Most issues are stay. At the point they're supposed to bring up those issues, you will never hear them mention it. Sometimes the budget would pass through them, only for them to come back much later and say, there are certain issues, there are certain parted. So let information be timely, okay? And I've seen situations also where this happen because certain things go well between the government agency involved and the National Assembly. So I do not have much to say. And government agency and a particular arm of government trying to reconcile the differences. So if they're able to reconcile this, if they're able to meet this issue and they notice that there's actually an infraction, something is wrong here, I think at that point, pick it up as the masses. They actually represent us as the masses. So they should do the right thing. If they call certain agent to order. But sometimes the way they go about it is just some sort of noise-making kind of issue. Because
by your own estimate.
By my own.
But then no matter how much you criticize them, you can't take away the fact that most times when things like this are raised, people need to pay attention. It may not be wholly true, or every figure may be exactly like, but it then also call for more interrogation, more unraveling of what the truth is.
You're correct.
Because for a company like NNPC that is Nigerians, and run by the federal government, so you expect looking at the role of oil and gas in this nation, it's likely where we derive all our revenue. Apart from little, but that's the major, sector that Nigeria relies on. Really. So anything out of that would cause a snowball of scandal and, allegations and counter-allegations and all of that. So,
No,
I understand why people made a big deal out of it. And even the House of Reps.
Like I said, I am not... they have to play their role. Part of their role is oversight function, okay? But sometimes some of those things just ended up as... as just merely barking and cannot bite. Okay, so we've seen this over time. Government agency reconciling figures, trying to make things right within themselves. It's normal thing, you understand? So from time to time, they feel an agency has done something wrong and they need to call the agency to order if it relates to funds or any other issue. Yes, it is part of their statutory responsibility to do. But at the same time, I'm saying that the possibility to be much more diligent and have the hearts of Nigerians. I mean, do this with the interests of Nigerians at heart. A lot of time, that act is totally lacking.
All right. Let's just take on some few comments before we round up on this discussion. 0700-951-000 and 08099933137. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Mr. Sunday. I'm calling from Norwich this afternoon.
All right. You have 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. I'm more confused with your girls than ever. I really don't know. I don't know what is from the beginning of the first program. I did not understand anything. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to malign him, but it's like something is wrong somewhere. He himself did not know as a journalist, and he's telling us different things. What we all know. NPC has been in cool swap, which I know. I have friends inside. They have been in cool swap. Not buy crude from anywhere. They just took crude from Nigeria to somewhere, refine and swap the bring back to Nigeria. I've been paying subsidy over years now. And every day, last year, the Minister of Finance told us that paying 18 billion naira subsidy daily. Let your just explain more.
All right. Thank you. We'll take another caller. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I greet the guest in the studio. It's Barry Delta.
Okay.
NNPC, I want to suggest 2 ways they can make process. Number one, I'm trying to go to the OPEC state. I've not seen anywhere stated that a country, another political country, cannot make a private arrangement with respect to countries with refineries so that it meet for the consumption. Like Nigeria, that there was not a refinery. Understand? What I have in mind that we sell crude oil with refineries with at concessionary prices. They sell to us at low air price respective of the exchange rate. See, that's what is affecting us now. I don't know whether it is true that Nigeria probably has a then there is this up-coast country. No time. This is a private arrangement. I'm looking at the OPEC city. Secondly, we should not make the mistake of saying we are following adhering to full market when all the issues have not put in place.
All right. Now stand up.
Ensure that all the safeguards and measures are put in place before we are operating a full market. What is it called now? A market mechanism for every sector. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan. Let's just take this quickly. Another commercial break. Hello.
Very good afternoon, Madam Swat.
Good afternoon.
This is Edabang Bushe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quickly, I want to ask your guest there. Thank God he told us that those refiners are under rehabilitation or something. The administration told us that they are going to compete by December 22. At the end of the day, nothing. He said March. At the end of the day, nothing. Up now. When are they going to finish these refineries? When are they going to complete it? Or is that going to continue and government will keep deceiving us? And thank God it is a political debated people. They will come to do this. If you don't do it, they will force you to do it. Is that how we are going to continue living in Nigeria, having crude oil, and they will not take it to somewhere else to refine and bring it back and sell it for us at the very
All right, we have to take this commercial, sir. Sorry.
Is always on.
Thank you,
That's why we give you the microphone to take your business to a higher level. Get your branding to a household name in Abuja and beyond. Call our sales executive, Tunde 080-999-30140. Jet 090-126-4148. Let's get your business on radio and be heard.
Nasco Quality Corn, so full of nourishing goodness, made by a natural process that retains all the natural goods of the whole corn, whole taste, and crunchiness of the whole family. Now available in 35 grams, 55 grams, and 140 gram packs.
On 95.1 Nigeria in.
All right, we're back to round up this discussion. Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah, for here. We'll take on 2 calls and read some messages. Hello. Okay, call. Let's see who is here. All right, I don't think we have yet. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good.
Yes, I called back and please let your guest tell us who are the shareholders.
Okay, you've called. All right, I'm sure he has heard that question. Hello.
Thank you, Swat. I want to ask the guest too. Good
Okay.
afternoon. You said NNPC is supposed to be profit. Honor Muhammad Buhari, he said that that lost, that Nigeria owned them. I owe them over 2 point something that he's talking about. I thought when they told us that it's a pay, just like what the last caller asked. Who are the older? The 2 million and the 200 million? Are they referring to you and I? Because I don't understand NNPC. My signature was on. What is the way forward? Can you people, oh my God, all these type of you that know what to say. Why can't every one of you gather yourself, go and meet this guy to tell him the right thing? And please, Mele Kyari should go. They are for money. It's not allegedly.
All right, thank you.
Allegedly.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, SWAT. Sonny Best from Kuba. I have to ask 2 questions. If civil servants are finding it difficult to survive, present condition of the country, how much with a job man on the street? If you have an idea, this is not for now. Okay. See, our guest to enlighten us more about the crude oil deal of the NNPC, please. Is it in public domain? And we want to know the truth. Okay. Good afternoon. Ask the guest about the bad fuel import. Well, where we on that? Damien is asking. Okay. It's your guest. There was an analogy we said if you are giving a homework to different corruption and you nearly draw an NPC tower, you score 100%. So many things aren't clear to public regarding NNPC operation. God Nigeria, Joe Light from Air Road. Hello, Putupu. Good afternoon. How's work going? This is not. Yes. We'll quickly just take on this one. We'll just pause for this quick trending news and then we'll back wrap up. But this one is from Usman Momo, Jimo, Knife Camp. Sorry, Utako Camp. It's unfortunate, in fact, very unfortunate that fuel pump price is now 617 per litre, and they're still talking on 8,000 naira per litres when 8,000 is not enough to transport to work a week, let alone. Okay, this is from earlier on, I guess. Good afternoon, SWAT. Please ask us, are we still doing crude swap? If yes, where are all those costs coming from? Also, if we're not doing the swap, then where and who is paying? Charles from CBD. I think those are the questions we have. We have to just stop very quickly. Then when we come back, you respond. Is that all right? Stay with us. It's 95.1 Nigeria Info.
The details.
The stories.
With the updates.
The one station for talk brings it all.
Nigerian politics is more strategic. Look at the presidential level. You see almost the same thing playing out. It's a game of numbers and popularity.
It's not going to help our brother to rise up and condemn.
Don't be left out of the conversation.
Talk
On 95.1
Nigeria Info. Of your home, on your work, in the midst of daily activities. Your Let's station is here to keep you informed. Only on Judman for Talk 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
What's trending on social media gives you latest updates on politics, entertainment, sports, economy, and so much more. Join us by 2 p.m. on the one station for Talk 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Hello guys and welcome. What's trending right here on 95.1 Nigeria Info.